Hi guys, welcome to the most ridiculously late video I've ever put out. It's nearly a year old, but it is my adventures in New York, in the most amazing hotel, doing the most amazing things, and then travelling home in style of Virgin Atlantic's A350 in upper class, which I'm very excited because I get to do it all over again. Although not on an A350, but I do get to go in upper class on the way back in January when I go and see my bestie again, Melanie. So that'll hopefully be coming soon. But all that's left to say is enjoy the video. There is a couple of gaps in it, but hopefully the video still makes sense and it'll still be of use to you. And yeah, enjoy. Good morning. Today we've just been to the Grand Central Station. We're now packing up because we're moving hotels again. See a theme on this holiday? Lots of moving, but this is our final hotel. And it's probably the most spectacular one of them all, because we are actually going to the Plaza, which is one of the best hotels in the world. I am incredibly grateful to my parents to do this. This is something that Dad's kind of basically dreamed about his whole life, so I'm very glad that they're taking me with them. So yeah, we've got to pack up. That's what I'm doing now. I'm sorting out my makeup, but thankfully, because we don't have to go on a plane like we have done every other time we packed up, is I can shove things like in my main case, in my cabin case, and it doesn't really matter. Not that there's actually that much room in my cabin case, especially if we're gonna squeeze the squishmallow in. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is my little outfit of the day. Bright blue t-shirt, blue stripy shorts. So yeah, I'm gonna stick on a YouTube video of hack and I will see right to the part of it. So here we have my bathroom. With everything. The toilet is behind a door. Then we come into a corridor with a closet that has an umbrella in it. Also in your area that is actually ginormous with a wet bar. And then my room, which isn't a study. They actually upgraded us. I don't know if it was the birthday or what. So we actually have a view of the Apple store, like the iconic Apple thing in the middle of the like street kind of thing. So yeah, I have a big bed. Oh, it's insane how many pillows there are. I got a personal note. Yes, that is the wrong time, but that's because Dad told them it was my 21st. I'm 22 now, because it was supposed to be for the 21st. And then luggage tags. Oh, cool! Like personalized luggage tags. And then I've got my kid's suitcase and my clothes that are having imposter syndrome in this closet. Because the majority of them are from Primark. So the final thing there is the master bathroom, which has a rolled up bath in it, a separate shower and a separate toilet. It's massive. Also, we have grilled on toiletries, because that's that. I'm pretty sure these was like probably like $40. Oh. Time to go up. Thank you. How gorgeous is this? Yeah, it is. Quite a lot of sailing boats out.
Oh no, they've gone. There's people up there.
Hi guys, editing Charlotte here. So there is quite a big gap again in this video where I just did not film. There are several reasons for this. The first one is the day that is missing. I have images from, but I do not have videos. And the reason for that is because we went to the 9/11 memorial. Now, it was kind of surreal, I think, for my dad, because he actually went when he was 21 to America, like this trip was supposed to be. Obviously, COVID got in the way, and it ended up being for my 22nd birthday. But when he went, the Twin Towers were obviously still the Twin Towers, and my dad actually went up them and has photos of them. So for him to go back to the site was kind of, in a way, very emotional, even though he had no part to play in what happened that day. And obviously, because it was a memorial museum, I didn't want to get out my camera, I didn't want to film. I respectfully took photos like you're allowed to do, but I didn't film because I thought it was too emotional and I just didn't want to put myself in that position. So I'm not going to include any videos, but I will talk a little bit about how incredible that museum is and how, if you're going, especially weirdly if you are a wheelchair user, go on the early morning tour, the tour before it opens, because what you get to do and what you get to experience, it's very similar to the tours that take part during the day, but the difference is nobody other than the tour group of probably 30 of you are in the museum. So you get in there before everyone else, and it means that as you're exploring the rest of the areas that are within the footprints of the actual foundations of the towers, it's not as crowded, which means it's a lot easier to navigate, especially with me being in my wheelchair. And it means that you truly get to take in the experience and you get to feel the emotion without constantly trying to navigate through people and try not to hit people and hit displays and things like that. So I highly recommend that. And also you get to hear more of the stories, especially on those tours. They tell you the meaning behind the blue memorial that they have, and you also get to find out some of the stories of survivorship and what actually happened that day rather than just the tragedy. So I really recommend doing the tour, especially the first morning tour, to get on it, definitely. And then in the evening, it was another situation where I couldn't film. So we went to go and see Come From Away. So we did the kind of emotional side of what happened, and then the story of what happened with the passengers who had to land in Gander Airport because of the airspace shutting in America. We had kind of both sides of it, the joy, the sadness, and it was just a really, really magical day, rounded out by us going to a restaurant which actually exists in the UK in London, and we go to it pretty much every time we go and see a show in London. We go to Joe Allen's, and there is actually a sister restaurant on Broadway. So we went to Joe Allen's on Broadway, again, something that we've always wanted to do. So again, I have no videos from that whole section, again, because I was also trying to busily navigate around New York. New York is not the place to go if you were in a wheelchair and you were not prepared to plan and navigate, because you cannot just get up and go. We were having issues getting taxis, like taxis that had their lights on were refusing to pick me up and pretending they were busy. Believe it or not, we actually had more issues with taxis in New York than we did Ubers. Uber, absolutely fantastic. And if you are a UK wheelchair user, I would highly recommend Ubers over taxis. The Ubers in New York are all taxi drivers. They all have to be regulated. They all have their little taxi thing. So we came across people like the yellow taxi cabs trying to rip us off, like, and charge us with like off-meter rates to get back from places and to go places, you know. And that's kind of just not on. At least with Uber, like, you know what you're getting with the pricing can't change, it's through the app. These taxi drivers are just trying to scam us, in all honesty, and the taxi cabs in New York are a lot smaller than UK, like Hackney carriages, so you can't just get a wheelchair into them. I would have to dismantle my wheelchair every time. A lot of the Uber vehicles, because we were getting Uber X's, they were either wheelchair accessible, like one of them we literally just put my wheelchair in the boot because it had a ramp and locked the brakes, or we could just lift it into the boot, there was enough room. So honestly, get Ubers, don't rely on the yellow taxi cabs. They are not accessible, they are not reliable, and they will try and scam you if you're an English person, as we found out, which was a complete polar opposite the last time my dad was in New York years and years and years ago. And actually, my dad had such a grudge against Uber, and by the end of that trip, we were using Uber for everything. We don't when we're in the UK, because taxis are a lot more regulated and a lot more reliable and don't tend to scam you. They're still not necessarily the most accessible things in the world though. But yeah, we tend to use taxis in the UK, but in America, we were using Uber, much better. So yeah, that was what happened then. Then for our last kind of full day in New York, we had a very chill day, and we actually, this wasn't our last day, I don't think. We went to a steakhouse called Gallagher's, which was amazing. They have a really good deal, go look them up. It's a really good lunchtime deal. You can like upgrade with very little supplement to like a proper steak. Great, you should definitely go there. And then we also did a cruise, so I will leave you with the footage with that, because I actually do have the footage. And yeah, onwards with the video. This was a rather long rant.
Office building, but we didn't have retrospect back in 1931. Seriously, who knew the Great Depression was going to be all that great? Well, it was. And actually, in retrospect, we now realize the Empire State Building was a culmination of an almost ridiculous number of tall office buildings we built in the early years of the Great Depression. Yeah. And you're standing on what was originally intended to be the roof. Okay. But they're building that. See, that's really when this country shuts the door. Ellis Island stays open for another 30 years. From that point, more as a place for holding illegal immigrants awaiting. Here is like more a prison than a processing center. 1954, it closes entirely, and Ellis Island was abandoned. It was left for 100th anniversary. That was a charitable effort spearheaded by the businessman Lee Iacocca. He did a great job raising money. Only problem is you raised too much money. Well, that's the problem with charities. You can't give the money back, and you can't, but you can roll it over.
Me? Carlos Bakery cannoli. London. How cool is that? Hello from the bathroom of the Virgin Atlantic Club Lounge in JFK. Clubhouse. There's a really cute little board that says like Virgin Atlantic on that, and like loads of funny letters. Anyway, yet again, my wheelchair is ended all with a gate tag. And it's kind of frustrating because I know it fits. It fits in an overhead. It doesn't even fit in the overhead. Like, if for some reason their locker is full, which it shouldn't be because I know how big the locker is, because chair and wheels, no heels, got her folding wheelchair, which wheels don't come off, like anything like that, into the cupboard. I know it's big enough. It's got an AC30 cupboard. But they can't envision like how it folds. So they gate tag it just in case. But it means when I turn up to the gate, like the gate agents assume it can't like fit, so therefore they start thinking. But they did say they would ring ahead to the service manager and tell them that to put my wheelchair in the cabin if it fits, which I know it does. So that's, no. We helped some unaccompanied minors. I didn't even realise they were minors. I thought they were like 16, 17. Apparently they're 14 and 15 onto their flight in Manchester because they were going in upper class. So I was like, you're in the class, right? And they're like, yeah. It's like, do you want to just stick with us and then we can plan the lounge together? So we took them to the lounge and got them through TSA, which was probably a good job because one of them was probably going to get their Bath and Body Works hand sanitizer thrown away because they didn't have a clear bag and it was attached to the backpack, and one of them had an iPad which has to be pulled out. So yeah, we helped them through that and then into the lounge, and they've now boarded their flight. Our flight is in a different gate to the one that's listed on the board, because I watched it come in. It sat on the tarmac for like 25 minutes. So that's where we're up to. And yeah, we should be boarding in about, I'm going at 10:02, so about half an hour. And yeah, I'll check with you on the flight. Hello, beauty. Look at it, it's like how tight that approach is. It's really cool.
We are about to show our safety demonstration video. Please can I ask you to extend your movable TV monitor so you can watch the video. Also remember, in the event of a loss in cabin pressure, if you are wearing a face mask, you will need to remove it before donning an oxygen mask.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions, we'll get away, this is what we waited for. Now looking back, eyes on.
If your TV screen is not in the seat back in front of you, it must be put away to keep the aisles and exits clear. You may listen to the audio channels if you like. Once you've put everything away, please double check your seatbelt is securely fastened. Please review the safety information card located in your seat pocket and take a quick look at where your nearest exits are. Remember, the nearest usable exit may be behind you.
Hello from the Virgin Atlantic Revivals Lounge. This is the greatest perk ever. I've just had a shower. This is the wheelchair accessible. I'm so impressed because, look, this grade is actually enough to stop it getting everywhere. So yeah. So I'm so impressed with that. So I'm gonna go and get dressed and freshen up. I haven't washed my hair because it doesn't really need washing. So it's just got a bit wet in the end. Gave myself a little shower. We were on a remote stand, which was interesting, to say the least. But Virgin, again, can never fault them. The crew are amazing. They literally carried my chair down for me, instead of me having to wait for the lift, because I can walk down the stairs as long as I've got a handrail. And the guy who was waiting was the guy that had loaded me onto the flight nearly 3 weeks ago. And he was lovely. And he was like, oh, it's you. And we were talking, because obviously we told him that the plan was to get it in the overheads the whole time, and that's happened. So yeah, this is really cool. And with that, my America series is over. It's taken me far too long to get these out. Like, I'm sorry. This, like, video was filmed basically 2 weeks time last year. So yeah, it's taken me far too long to get these videos out, and I apologise for that. There will be a couple more catch-up videos, but then as I haven't really filmed at all this year, the videos that will be coming hopefully in a few months will be a lot more up to date, including getting my office all up and running, which, as you can see, things are starting to happen. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope some of my ranting about America and especially New York accessibility helps people who might plan their own adventure. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.